Here at Rolling Operations, we like to thread needles. This is just so not ideal, but we're getting it. Guys, I'm so pumped for this. Keegan and I are gonna go pick up something that I've been waiting for a long time. Finally found somebody to make me one that I thought would be appropriate. So here to go pick it up. I don't think we're gonna be disappointed anyway. We just got done wrapping something up. Could have called it a day, and Keegan's like, no, we gotta go see it. It's almost before the weekend. We're looking forward to seeing what this thing looks like. Look at that. Thank you, Evan. That's fantastic. I called in a good buddy of mine to help me out. This thing is gonna look awesome. I cannot wait to get this thing up. I've been waiting for this for a long time.
Same spot.
We got one piece up. My buddy's a perfectionist. He showed up here with the freaking laser. Well, I've had one on his head like one of those sharks, you know? But it's turning out sweet. Right now we're putting up like silver screws. We're getting everything mounted, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna special order some black ones with some washers. That way we, you know, it covers up that silver, matches the sign. I think it'll look great. You guys are gonna love the way this turns out. It's looking official. My dream since I was 16 years old was to have a shop. I didn't even know why, but it's all coming together. All right, day one, we feel the judging eyes thinking that this isn't centered, but there's more to come right on this side. So it'll all fill out. Cannot wait to change that ugly light and get rid of those wires. It's turning out. All right, of course it's colder, but we're back. So we're gonna get that last portion up. Ready to see it? All right, we ran out of money. We're starting a GoFundMe page to fund the rest of our project. Oh, wait. Never mind, somebody came through. Thank you for your donation. All right, she's in. I had to take the little girl to a doctor's appointment, but Tim, my buddy, came in. He got himself a nice thing of beer and a little bit of side cash because that is fantastic. Keegan, what do you think? Official? We're official now. No turning back. Now we gotta succeed. I'm loving it. Now people will stop here all the time. Something about this small town, people stop all the time, non-stop. They're always just checking in on what you're doing. So the fact that this is here now, it's a little nerve-wracking because they'll probably be in here every day because they know this is a business, not just some hobby. So we'll see how that turns out. But you know what? We'll talk to them. Spread the message. All right, new day, new dumpster. We're into the end of February, and this is always a rush for us, which, you know, good problems, but we're completely out of dumpsters for the weekend, and I'm practically begging people to get us dumpsters back early so that we can rent those out to other people over the weekend. It'll probably be one of our best weeks in the slowest months. So I'm very nervous for June and July, which are typically our most like busy. Tells me that it's likely going to be a good year, and our branding and marketing has been working over the last couple of years. I'm pretty excited. Look at all that lumber. So much lumber. All right, you guys, so as you saw, one of my biggest focuses for this year, seriously, one of the biggest things I'm focusing on is building a brand. And I can't highlight how important that is to build a brand and a business. You understand that? Building a brand is so much different than building a business. So you can always build a business and add services and, you know, try to grow your client list as best as you can by reaching out to them or networking or whatever it is. But at the end of the day, the last thing you ever want to be known as the guy that does this. The guy that does that. So in my line of work, renting dumpsters, renting equipment, I am a one-man show, or I was. I have hired somebody, and it makes my life a lot easier. And right off the bat, that helps the brand because I'm no longer just the dumpster guy. I'm no longer the guy that brings stuff in. Some people might still refer to me as that, but this is something that I feel is the defining difference between somebody who goes big and somebody who just always remains busy, hopefully. Because at the end of the day, you can have a lawn business or you could be a lawn company. So there's so many guys out there that they have like the trailer, the truck, the equipment, but their brand falls short because they usually, I'll just say, they name the company after themselves. Let's just say Brandon's Lawn Care. Let's call it that. And I mean, literally first name. It's okay to have your name in your business. Don't think it's not. But sometimes it can be a limiting factor. If you notice my brand, Rolling Operations, it has a logo. It has a personality. All of my equipment is branded. So my truck is identified as Rolling Operations. My dumpsters, Rolling Operations. The very simple rent me. Dumpster rentals. Rent me dumpster rentals. That's my sales pitch. There's nothing else. I don't need to give them a whole list of everything, but on those dumpsters, it is a mobile billboard that says rent me. All right. So having this building, in my opinion, is going to be the point where the growth starts to take off. So I've had this building for a while. I stored my stuff in it, but I never had a brand identity to go with the building. Most of the people honestly thought it was somebody else's building, or that I was renting it, or that stuff was just being stored in it. Some people thought it was abandoned. And as I put work into it and I started to clean up, that changed everything, especially once that sign went up. The amount of people that I noticed drove past that building every day and still came up to me this week and said, "So is this a new business?" And it blew my mind because my dumpsters sit out in front of that shop. My equipment sits out in front of that shop. My truck sits out in front of that shop all the time, all with my name on it. But somehow they still didn't make the connection that it's the same company. So brand identity is very, very important. There's different stages of branding too. There's brand awareness, brand identity, and brand recognition. Those are all different stages. You can look at this up. You can do this research yourself. This isn't just like some kid with a college degree telling you like this secret information. You can literally go find this information out yourself. So when you're advertising and you're pushing your services on Facebook, I want you to stop advertising your deals of the week, your 50% off. First off, doing that kind of stuff on Facebook all the time just devalues your value, your brand as a whole, because people start to figure out what your bottom line is. If you're renting out your 3-day service, whatever it is, whether that's demolition, power washing, whatever, if you're making it seem like you can do it at a cheaper price, people will continue to ask you for a cheaper price. Making deals with people behind closed doors or one-on-one is a whole different thing than letting everybody know what your bottom dollar is all the time. So keep that in mind. It's super important to always recognize, am I advertising my brand, or am I just trying to offer some cheap price today? People on Facebook do not care about your business deal of the week. Honestly, the amount of people that will capture is this small. What you're really doing is you're trying to create an experience and a story on Facebook that people can follow along on. This is the same for Instagram, Facebook. You got to realize people are seeing your posts every day, every week, and they're seeing the progress of your business and they're experiencing what you're experiencing. You don't see Coca-Cola telling you the price of their Coke for the week, or or Pepsi, or I want you to think like a bigger brand. They're not telling you their discounted prices and all their offerings. They're just creating a brand for you to be a part of. That's why you buy Coca-Cola and some of you wear Coca-Cola shirts. Why? I don't know. Because you want to be part of that brand or identify as a member of that brand. And that's just a very small example. Columbia, clothing isn't a very good example because clothing is their market. So you need to think of other services that offer something, but then also they give you products that you represent. And that is what you need to capture. You want people to be part of your brand and want to use it. The other thing you need to work on is being out of the business, working on the business instead of in the business. Having an employee was the biggest game changer that took me a very, very, very long time to let go. Was to give up some of the things that I was doing because I knew how to do them. I knew how I wanted them done. And it was also the biggest thing holding me back. because at the end of the day, my employee can be out driving around, emptying dumpsters, dropping off equipment, doing that time-consuming work, while I can actually be identifying ways to build my brand or connect with people that then allows us to get more business. So, and there are days I go out, I'll run dumpsters, I will do some of the demo work, I will do some of the junk removal, and I enjoy that. But at the same time, I can't do that if I'm struggling to get work and paying an employee. So there needs to be a balance, and focusing on the business rather than being in the business has been the biggest game changer for me. The amount of time I can spend talking to people, getting some of that paperwork done, identifying hoops and regulations to jump through to do bigger projects has been the best thing I've ever done, because I can't be doing that at 9 o'clock every night if I want to spend time with my family. I can't be doing that every day while I'm also driving, emptying stuff, dealing with those problems for the day. It's impossible. So I needed to find a way to free it up, and the best thing to do was to hire an employee and then focus on the brand. I'd probably say 70% of the time, and the other 30% was actually being in the business. That's it. That's all there is to it. That was the thing that separated me in the last 2 years. So when you're building this business, like I'm telling you, you should be building a brand. People want to identify with your brand. You want people to say, yeah, use Rolling Operations. Not, oh yeah, there was that one guy we rented a dumpster from one day. I don't remember his name. Maybe Google him. It might be one of those on there. And then they call 4 people and it's not you. You need an identity, and it can't just be you as a person. You want them to identify your brand. And I'm just talking about my brand, Rolling Operations, dumpster rentals, equipment rentals. See, I'm still working on my brand because I do junk removal, I do equipment rental, I do dumpsters, and I do light demolition and container services, storage. So my brand's all over the place, and trying to make it tight, cohesive, so people understand everything I do is a work in progress. But that should be what your goal is. And I'm not telling anybody the dumpster business is where it's at. That's actually the farthest thing from the truth. When I got into it, it was something that I was able to capture and work with, and I built it up when it was right. It is now a saturated market. It is harder to stand out, and equipment is way more expensive than it was before. Trucks are very expensive. So I'm not going to tell you this is the time to get in the dumpster business. I can't tell you that. Every market is different. Every area is different. 2 hours away could be a completely different market for me. But if you're in any blue collar space where you think you can get into excavating, power washing, mowing, demolition, equipment rentals, whatever it is, you need to build a brand. You need to stand out. Only thing that matters is your reputation and how well people can identify your brand. After that, the business will come to you rather than you always chasing the business. That's my 2 cents. I hope it really helps you guys. I know this is a quick clip, but I want you guys to think outside the box. Start looking at what the bigger guys are doing. Look at how they advertise. They don't just push their services, push. Look at our daily deals, look at this. They really are just creating an experience that you as a customer can relate to and be a part of. So think bigger. And I hope that this helps somebody out while they're building their business. Best of luck to you. And let me know in the comment section what works for your business, how you get the most business, and how much it's grown since you started. Catch you next time.